Hello everyone, myself Ami Mehta and here we discuss different categories of function. Okay, so there are total 4 categories of a function, user defined function, that functions with no arguments and no return value, function with no arguments but return a value, function with arguments and no return value, functions with arguments and one return value, and the last one, that functions that return multiple values using pointer. Okay, so let us discuss it one by one. We have already discussed first two, that with no arguments and no return value, with no arguments and return a value. So we discuss remaining three. Okay, so this is function with arguments and no return value. So when a function has argument, it receives data from calling function. So if the function has argument, what it do? It will get the data from the calling function. When it does not return a value, the calling function does not receive any data from the called function. Okay, so if there is no return value, it means that the function did not send any data to the called function. Okay, so this is the demonstration that main function passing the arguments to the function, but actually the function does not return any value to the main function. Okay, so let us see the example for it. So for that, first we start our turbo C. Okay, so first what we do, include our header file, and we are taking simple example to demonstrate these categories of function. So now if what we do here, we first declare the our function. Okay, so function with arguments, so we declare void sum and we passing two arguments, its data type is integer. Okay, now we start our main function. Now we took two number 1 comma number 2. This is just two variable to get the summation of this 2. Now we take the value from user, that enter number 1, number 2. Okay, and now store this value. So here percentage D, comma, ampersand number 1, comma, ampersand number 2. Okay, now we call function. So this is actually what it is. It is our function declaration. It is our function calling. Sorry, it is not there here. Basically it is, so sum of number 1 comma number 2, and this is function calling. Okay, now what we do, we now define our function. So this is the definition of the function, and we are providing two arguments, integer number 1 and integer number 2. Okay, now we declare one variable which actually store the value of this summation. So answer is equal to number 1 plus number 2, and we print that values. So here we not returning any value. We are just printing this value. Keep this in mind that printing the value, it simply print the value, and returning the value means it return that value to the main function from where actually function calling is happen. Okay, so if this point is clear, then this all category are very easy to understand. Okay, so let us see, let us print the addition. So sorry addition is percentage d comma and the value which is stored. Okay, and now our function is over. Here we forgot to write get ch, and here it is. Okay, now we compile our program and now run our program. So what it asks, enter number 1 and 2. So we enter 5 and 7. So it is 12. Okay. So this is how you can implement function with argument but returning no value. Okay. Now again back to our next category, which is okay, which is function with arguments and the one return value. So it does the both. It has the argument and also it returning a value. So when a function has argument, it receives data from calling function, and plus when a function has a return value, the calling function receive one data from the called function. So now this is a two-way communication. The main function sending argument to the function user defined function, and also user defined function send the value to the main function. So this is the category where actually a two-way communication sending and receiving is done. So in first category there is no communication, in second and third category it is a one way. Either it is from calling function to called function, or it is from called function to calling function. Okay. So actually void main is a calling function, and our user defined, so integer function 2 is our called function. So in this category, two-way communication is happen. Okay. So again, let us see the example of it. So we again start Turbo C and our new program. So let us see it. So first we have to declare our function. Okay. So here we write integer because the function is returning something. So integer sum in bracket integer comma integer, and now we write our main function. Actually we doing the same thing, summation of two number, but with returning a value and also passing the argument. Okay, so here we took integer number 1, integer number 2, comma answer, and now we are getting the value from user. Enter value of number 1 and number 2 and store that value. Okay, so we are storing in the number 1 and number 2. Now we are call our function that answer is equal to sum. Now actually you are good get what is the difference between previous example and this one. So in previous we print the answer in the sum function. Now here we get the value of this function and store it in the variable answer. Okay. So this is basically difference. And now here we printing the answer. Answer is %d, comma, answer. Okay. And here we complete our program. First here we also clear the output of previous one. And now we define our function. Integer sum and 2 argument. Suppose we take integer x comma integer y, then the value of number 1 will be stored in the variable x and the value of number 2 will be stored in variable y. Okay. Again here we declare one variable integer result, and result is equal to nothing but the x plus y. Okay. And now we are returning the value of result. So whenever you have returning any value to the calling function, there is a must statement of return particular value. Okay. And if you are passing an argument, there must be a arguments in the declaration of the function. Okay. So here we return our result. So now complete our program and now we compile it. So 5 and 7. So answer is 12. Okay. So this is how actually we are doing user defined function with argument and also with the returning a value. Okay. And now we are going our last category, which is nothing but the function that returns multiple value. So function can return either one value or zero value. It cannot return more than one value. Now to receive more than one value from function, we have to use pointer. Okay. So the function should be called with reference, not with value. Okay. So you cannot directly return more than one value. If you want to return more than one value, then you have to use pointer. Okay. So these are the different 5 categories. Okay. Thank you.